What's up, everybody? Mel here, and we're going to talk a little bit about another show that I saw over the weekend. And this one is a second season of a show. It actually is on YouTube Prime or Premium or whatever it is. Anyway, I watched Cobra Kai Season 2. Now, this picks up right where Season 1 left off last year. Now, I'm not going to also drop any spoilers. I binged the show inside of couple of hours. They're half-hour episodes. There's 10 of them. You can watch the show inside of a day if you really want to. It's about 2 days, actually. I can tell you that more of the same continues. This show just gets better and better. Now, for those of you that aren't familiar with Cobra Kai Season 1, Cobra Kai is the actual sequel to the original Karate Kid films from the 1980s. And I'm talking about the ones with Pat Morita and Ralph Macchio. Now, this picks up with Johnny, the original antagonist in the Karate Kid 1, and where he is now today, 30 some odd years after the events of the original Karate Kid. And we see that Johnny, originally at the beginning of the series of Season 1, was a loser, probably an alcoholic, drinks a lot of beer, gets drunk almost every night, and doesn't really have much in the way of success. In fact, he's pretty much, like I said, a failure. And it all goes to show how he kind of makes something of himself by bringing back Cobra Kai. And at the end of the first season, we see the return of John Kreese, the original, Cobra Kai dojo sensei that was Johnny's teacher in the first Karate Kid. And here we find out that we see Kreese return to Cobra Kai and try to talk to Johnny into letting him come back and work with him. And we want to question what his motives are. We see a bunch of new students get introduced into Cobra Kai. We see a lot of things happen with the characters, and both on Ralph Macchio's side, where he reopens Miyagi-Do Karate, and we see what continues to develop with Johnny as he continues to train his kids, and he goes through some different growing experiences as a character, and his character is really fantastic. This was very much, I would say, the Empire Strikes Back of the series. So I'm not going to say much more than that. I will say this. If you were like, well, what does YouTube really have to offer for its premium services? Well, I'll tell you what. This show is a diamond in the rough. It's a fantastic show. As soon as I heard that Season 2 was coming around, I couldn't wait for it. And once it released, I watched the first 2 episodes. Then the next day, while I was kind of recovering, I watched the rest of it and haven't been happier. It's a great show. I highly recommend, if you haven't seen it, I recommend actually going back and rewatching the original Karate Kid. And it pulls from all 3 of the original Karate Kid movies starring Ralph Macchio. So refresh yourself on those movies and definitely catch up on Season 1. Same amount of time. You'll finish it all. I mean, you could pretty much binge both seasons inside of like 2-3 days. It's highly enjoyable watches. I mean, it's not an epic show like, Game of Thrones with that, but it's a great story, great character piece. And it does have, I think, overall pretty good messages, and the characters are really what you got to watch. Johnny's character in particular is really the centerpiece of the show. Him and honestly Ralph Macchio, and how we see how Daniel LaRusso, character played by Ralph Macchio, how he's been successful, but also what this rivalry that comes back from high school does to him and does to his life, and how it kind of interacts with them, and where their characters go and the arcs that they have. As well as, again, like we see Johnny, and then we see him, played by Billy Zabka, William Zabka, really get go from different places. There was highs and lows, and you do really feel for these characters and what they're going through. There's no good or bad here. I mean, like, you really want to initially, in the original Karate Kid, yeah, there was kind of like, oh well, obviously Johnny's a bad, is kind of like the typical stereotypical teenage douchebag, the bully, and Ralph Macchio was the quote unquote the nerd or the kid that got picked on. Well, we see that there is a lot more gray in that, and this show, and especially in this season, we see a lot more of the real intricacies and depths of those characters come out. Highly recommended. Even if you just get YouTube like Premium for like a month just to watch this, it's worth it. You know, there really aren't too many, like, as far as as far as I'm concerned, this is one of those like destination series for me to binge when it's on. There's not too many I can say about that, and I was pleased. Again, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I highly recommend checking out both series, and you know, I think you'll enjoy it. That's a recommendation from me to you, especially for all of those of you out there who are children of the 80s and 90s, like myself, who will remember these films from when they were in the theaters. I remember seeing The Karate Kid in the theater when I was a kid. I think I saw all three of them in the theaters. So it's one of those series that was, I think, kind of is one of those films from the 80s that just stands out. And the fact that they kept the characters, they progressed the characters, they gave them much more depth and detail than they had, really goes to show how much time the creators of the show the took in developing this, took in paying attention to the source material. And I really think this is something that you probably come away and enjoy. At very least, it's a good fun watch. But definitely, if you haven't seen their original films, maybe go back and check them out. At any rate, that's my take on that. I give it a high recommendation. Go check it out. And that's really all I got for now. So once again, thank you all for tuning in. And as always, I appreciate you taking the time to come and check out my channel. Hopefully, we'll have some other things up there in the near future. I'm working on some other stuff for you all right now, so check back often for that. In the meantime, I hope you have a great rest of your weekend and a great, fantastic rest of your week. Anyway, that's all for me now. As always, Mel out.